Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about food styling tools. 10 simple tools that you probably have around your own house that will help your food photography. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and here we talk about food photography. If that's something you're interested in, I urge you to subscribe and follow along for more videos. And if you learn something in this video, hit the notification bell before you go. So today we're going to talk about food styling tools. I've picked out 10 tools that I use relatively frequently when I'm building my dishes and building my sets, or when I'm traveling to a restaurant for a shoot. I generally bring these with me. So I'm willing to bet that you probably have most of these lying around your house already. It would not be difficult to repurpose them for food styling tools. So the list of items I put together are small, extremely inexpensive, and really easy to acquire. I will leave a link to all these items down below if you're looking to buy something and can't find it in your local store. For the most part, most of the things that I found at local art stores like Michael's or things like that. I'm not sure where you're from. If you're out of the US, then you may have another art store that you use, or a craft store. But most of the stuff that I got from Michael's, and I think they've got a lot of cool little items that you can use for making your plates look phenomenal. All right, so let's jump into the items. You've seen me use these, I'm sure, in prior videos if you watched before, and those are tweezers. There is a reason that chefs use tweezers. And our next item, when they are building their plates in the kitchen, they are great for being very precise with where you want to be putting food on a plate. You can use your fingers, but it can get a little bit clumsy sometimes, and the thin nature of the tweezers makes it really easy to be delicate, number one, and to be very specific with where you put those items on your plate. Item number two is a spoon. And spoons are great as well for being very specific with things like sauces and oils, things that are going to be kind of runny. You can see the tapered end on this spoon is a great way to just take a sauce and be very specific with where I want to put it on a plate, being very intentional about how I want that dish to look. So this is a set that I've actually used from my chef days, and it has a selection of spoons and tweezers, and I'll leave an offset spatula that you can use. And I mean, I use it for food photography now, not so much in the kitchen, but easy to find on Amazon. I think this set, I've had it for 7-8 years, and it cost me 30 or 40 bucks. It's still available on Amazon. I still buy it for friends as a gift because I think it's just a phenomenal tool, both for cooking and for food photography and styling. So number three is toothpicks. And if you're looking to build something and hold it in place, having a toothpick in there is a great way to keep everything together, have it spaced, and doesn't look so compressed. And then things aren't gonna fall off as well when a toothpick's kind of holding it all together. Number four are squeeze bottles. And I've used squeeze bottles all my life in kitchens. They are an extremely handy way, again, to carry liquids, apply liquids to plates. Again, like the spoon, be very intentional with where you put things. For me, sometimes I'll bring an empty one or two, and whatever sauce we're using for the dish that we're shooting, I'll have some of it in here just to be able to place around a little bit. And I'll always keep one with vinegar. And this is a 1-to-1 ratio of vinegar to water. And I use this with a little bit of a towel sometimes to wipe plates. The vinegar is great at taking off little spots of oil or grease, or cleaning fingerprints off the lips of plates. So number five is going to be spray bottles, and I use these filled with various things, sometimes water, sometimes oil, just to be able to give a spritz to things like lettuce or herbs, to make them look fresh, to give them some sheen and some shine, and maybe catch some specular highlights in the dish itself. Segueing from spray bottles into number six is going to be glycerin, and I do keep glycerin in a spray bottle. This glycerin here is again a 1-to-1 ratio of vegetable glycerin to water, and this is kind of what you see when you see that condensation on a can. This is basically what they do with it. It's the glycerin, it's water. They spray it lightly on a can or a glass just to give that look of condensation. and it does a great job of making things look kind of cold and refreshing. Number 7 is a pair of small scissors, and I use these for sometimes cutting herbs or making little adjustments on, if there's a piece of bread with a piece of crust that's coming off and I don't want to break it off because I may take too much of it. I'll just give it a quick little snip, or cutting herbs, cutting lettuces, things like that. I want to be very precise with the cuts that I make, as opposed to pulling them off and using a knife to cut those. So number 8 is dry foam, and this is kind of new to me. I've never used this before, but I find these things to be extremely useful in being able to prop up things and kind of build things out, and taking up space in photos that would otherwise be used to let something look flat. So for example, these come in many different shapes and sizes, and I use them for propping up buns when they're in plates. I put them inside sandwiches sometimes to make them look thicker and fuller. And they're great because you can, basically cut whatever size you want. They come in all different kinds of sizes when you buy them. Again, these were in the arts and crafts store, and you can cut thin discs out of these, or use big pieces. They've got big bricks you can buy and kind of do whatever you want with them. These have become kind of one of the new things that I've used, and actually they work really well. They are a little bit dusty sometimes. They do kind of create a mess, but when you cut them, but they are really handy for kind of building out your food. So number 9 is going to be paintbrushes, and paintbrushes are kind of obvious. You do want to have a selection of paintbrushes that you can use for, if you're applying dressing to a leaf, or if you're applying even glycerin to, an herb, or, barbecue sauce to a piece of brisket, or to a sandwich, or whatever it is. These are a great way of being very precise with how you add things, and then the amounts that you do. The bigger the tip, the more you can add on there. I use these for adding oil, sauces, things like that. I want to be very specific on where those things go. So a selection of these are really good to have, and you can get a set of 10 paintbrushes for $5, and have a variety of tips that you can use from. So number 10 is going to be probably the most obvious, and probably the one that everybody uses already, and that's going to be Q-tips. A great way to clean up little spills and splatters, to take some sauce off things, to move some dressings around a bit on the dishes itself. I use these quite a bit, mostly for cleanup than for actually applying things to plates, because they do have a tendency sometimes to leave lint on your plate or wherever you're at. So be very careful if you're using Q-tips, that you want to watch out for the lint that may remain behind once you pull the Q-tip away. So that's my list of 10 items I use for food styling. I do want to throw in a bonus item, and that is fake ice. Now, fake ice kind of straddles the line between prop and food styling, and it kind of depends on how you use it. Fake ice is, easy to acquire. You can get it on Amazon. I think I got a big box of it for like $8. It's inexpensive, but what you can see when you use a fake ice is it does look fake. So my suggestion when using it as a food styling tool is to leave it in the background. It is a great way to pick up specular highlights coming off light, to add some brightness to an area, to show actual ice, but when it becomes the focal point of the image and it is in focus, you can tell right away that it's fake. So I never use these as a hero. I always use them kind of in the background, like in this photo here with the sandwich and just a nice tea in the back. It does pick up some nice highlights and does make it look a little bit prettier. If you use them as the hero, they do look pretty fake, but they are great in the background shot. I will leave links down below to everything that I have here, just in case you can't find it. I know most of the stuff you can find on Amazon. Like I said, I found a lot of it myself at arts and craft stores. If you have any food styling tools that you use that I haven't mentioned in this list, I'd love to see them down in the comments below. Again, if you enjoyed the video and you're not subscribed, I'd hope you want to subscribe and follow along, hit the notification bell. And if you like the video, got anything out of it, and you want to hit the thumbs up button on the way out, that really does help me. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.